Good evening and welcome to Purmort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. We thank you for tuning in tonight. Getting started a little bit early here. We have some inclement weather coming into the state of Ohio today, so we are trying to get this one in a little bit quicker. All the games moved up an hour here, so we'll have soccer action for you sooner than we thought here tonight at Bernlohr. I'm Jimmy Bloomfield. Thanks for tuning in as always. The Marietta College Pioneers are today's opponents. They come into this one 0-2-1. They have suffered losses to Ohio Northern and Otterbein, and drew Heidelberg their last time out 2-2. Goal scorers for them, Chloe Williams and Emma Diorio. Those are their only two goals that they've scored this season. Capital, on the other hand, is off to a red-hot start. A 3-0 win over over Heidelberg, followed up with a 4-0 victory against the Blue Streaks of John Carroll back on the 21st. That's 7 goals in 2 games. You can do the math there. Haven't allowed a goal in net yet either. And Lauren White is back in net today. The Pioneers will make a change at goalie. They had been going to Katie Kunkel for the last 3 games, and it looks like the starters that's been passed our way is Katie Delaney. She's the junior goalkeeper for Batavia, out of Batavia, Ohio, for the Pioneers. Capital has outshot their opponents so far this season by a count of 42-10, and obviously 7-0 in the goal breakdown as well. And it's just been kind of a dominant performance. 59% shot on goal percentage, 25 shots on goal of those 42 taken. On the other side, Marietta has been outshot 52-32, allowing over 17 shots per game while shooting just 10. Their shot on goal percentage much lower at 43%, and they're being outscored this season by a count of 6-2. Both these teams jockeying for a position right now in the OAC, and right now Capital is at a slight disadvantage, not having their first game against Baldwin-Wallace. Despite the undefeated record and 6 points, they're still 3 points back of both Ohio Northern and Otterbein, who have not lost this season and are 3-0, did not have a game canceled. So that is playing into the standings. But there's clearly a top 3 between Ohio Northern, Capital, and Otterbein that remains to be sorted out. Later, as you move more into the standings, you have John Carroll also at 6 points in a tie with Capital, but Capital does have the head-to-head there. John Carroll's 2-1. Wilmington has 5 points. They're currently in 5th. Heidelberg has 2 points with 2 draws, currently in 6th. Mount Union and Marietta each have a draw. They are tied for 7th right now, just 1 point back of the 6th spot. And Muskingum and Baldwin-Wallace still looking for their first wins. Baldwin-Wallace 0-2, Muskingum 0-3. The starting lineups for today's game are about to be announced in-house, so we'll go ahead and kick this over to our public address announcer, Ray Delgado, for the announcement of our starting lineups.
Fans, now let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Pioneers, who enter the contest 0-2-1. In goal, a junior from Batavia, Ohio, number 33, Katie Delaney. At forward, a freshman from Cincinnati, Ohio, number 5, Olivia Alberto. At defense, a freshman from Bellbrook, Ohio, number 6, Emma Diorio. At midfield, a senior from Marietta, Ohio, number 9, Embry Roberts. At defense, a freshman from Cuyahoga Falls, number 10, Kaylee Ward. At defense, a sophomore from Powell, Ohio, number 12, Jasmine Hauser. At midfield, a freshman from Mainville, Ohio, number 17, Lydia Bach. At midfield, a freshman from Bowling Green, Ohio, number 18, Maddie Wagner. At defense, a freshman from Westerville, Ohio, number 19, Anna Bardwell. At forward, a senior from Pataskala, Ohio, number 21, Teresa LaGreca. At midfield, a freshman from Batavia, Ohio, number 27, Demi Mills. The Pioneers are led by head coach Sean Kagan, and he is assisted by Michelle Rick. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Capital University Crusaders. In goal, a sophomore from Dublin, Ohio, number 1, Lauren White. At defense, a senior from Delaware, Ohio, number 4, Emily Mathias. At midfield, a sophomore from Springboro, Ohio, number 5, Lauren Bowe. At midfield, a sophomore from Hilliard, Ohio, number 8, Madeline Woodruff. At forward, a junior from Dublin, Ohio, number 10, Olivia Rotolo. At forward, a freshman from Canal Winchester, 11, Lexi Snyder. At forward, a junior from Gahanna, Ohio, number 13, Kaylee Stanisovska. At midfield, a junior from Westerville, Ohio, number 19, Brooke Shuttler. At forward, a sophomore from Hilliard, Ohio, number 20, Aaliyah Berletic. At midfield, a junior from Milford, Ohio, number 23, Holly Barledge. And at midfield, a junior from Hilliard, Ohio, number 24, Gabby Vigiano. The Crusaders are led by head coach Matt Ogden, and he's assisted by Jenna Klopfenstein and Giovanni Salinas. And now, fans, it is time to honor America. We invite you to rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner.
Welcome back upstairs to the press box here at Bernlohr. Your starting lineups once again for each team if you're just joining us. On the other side for Marietta, it's Alberto, Diorio, Roberts, Ward, LaGreca, Hauser, Bach, Wagner, Bardwell, Mills, and in net, making her first start of the season, the 5'9" junior goalkeeper out of Batavia, Ohio, Katie Delaney. For the Crusaders, it'll be the 5'5" sophomore goalkeeper out of Dublin, Ohio, Hilliard Davidson, Lauren White. And White is joined by the following: Mathias, Bowe, Woodruff, Rotolo, Snyder, Stanisovska. Shuttler, Berletic, Vigiano, and Barlage. Pretty much the same starters that we saw from the game on Saturday. There are two, or Sunday, I should say. There are two differences. Lauren Bowe, who came in and played the rest of the game at defense, is in there again. Haley Moore had gotten the start in the last game. And in the midfield, Jade Hoffman was the starter and did get a little bit hurt at the end of that game. And I can see her down there in the field in street clothes. So she will not be playing today. And I mentioned to you guys at the end of the game that there's a lot of different options that Coach could elect to go with. And he elected to go with Brooke Shuttler, the junior, in the midfield. As more of a defensive midfielder. So Rotolo is going to be on the attacking line up in the middle. On the right wing, you have Stanisovska, and on the left wing, Berletic. In the midfield, attackers, Vigiano and Woodruff. Shuttler is a defensive midi. And then at the top of your screen on the left side is Holly Barlage. Down to Lauren Bowe and Emily Mathias. And then on the outside, Lexi Snyder, who did play some attack as well as a striker and scored a goal after having a pretty impressive game defensively to that point early in the contest against John Carroll back on Sunday. Capitals in the home white uniforms. They'll be moving from right to left from left to right to get things started. Marietta will be moving from right to left, so that's Delaney there issuing that kick across midfield. It is a nice day here in Bexley, Ohio. We'll see how long that lasts. There is a wind warning in effect at about 10 o'clock tonight. There's going to be some rain as well. So beautiful weather now, and all the teams decided let's get these games in earlier. So we are starting a little bit early across the state here. Both the men's and women's games were affected. Nice ball here put in front of Stanisovska. She's trying to get to it. And it's cleared out of the box. And, wow, they're going to call a foul against Stanisovska there. Pass came from Vigiano, number 24. We are positioned with football on tomorrow. They are occupying the booth that is normally in front of the left side here at the stadium, which would be more Capital fans. So you might hear a little bit more Marietta fans on the crowd mic, fair warning, as Woodruff lets one go a little bit wide of the net. We are on the right side of the box, so below me is the visitor stands. So if you get confused by that, that would be why. Delaney goes short with the throw in here. And instead of punting it, we'll just toss it over to her defense. And with it now in the midfield is Teresa LaGreca. She's wearing number 21 today, normally wears number 11. Woodruff with another shot, chipped on net, and Delaney falls on top of this one. There's also a number change for Capital to report. Hallie Barlage normally wears 28. She is wearing 23 tonight. This one is in the direction of Barlage. It hits off of Barlage's leg, but it goes the other way to Kaylee Ward. And now Alberto plays it forward. Vach trying to run it down and kicks it out of bounds. Barlage cuts her off, and it goes harmlessly through the end zone. Capital has gotten 2 goals this season from Madeline Woodruff, 1 apiece from Rotolo, Stanisovska, Snyder, and Berletic. And they also got an own goal scored by John Carroll on Sunday. On the other side, Chloe Williams, who's a reserve, with one of the goals for the Pios, and the other is Emma Diorio, who is making the start today in this one. And again, they have just 1 point to this point through 3 games and are really trying to find something, whereas Capital's trying to compete for a conference crown, and where they might have had a smaller margin of a small window of being able to, maybe have a draw or a game not go their way throughout the season, losing that game to Baldwin Wallace, literally losing it from the schedule, gives them way less of an opportunity to slip up, and they might have to go 8-0 to win the division, to win the conference. Whereas 8-1 may have done it before. Obviously, 7-1 is not going to do it if there's an 8-1 team in front of them. So it's unfortunate that they weren't able to get that game in against Baldwin Wallace, but it's a weird year. That's what's going to happen. And we'll see if there's any other cancellations. I believe the women's lacrosse game against Mount Union was canceled. Meanwhile, here's Snyder keeping it deep in Marietta territory, but it will be cleared by Demi Mills. And that's a great ball out in front of Kaylee Ward. Ward ran down by Matthias. She's looking for help, crosses it through. It hit the foot of Vach. Vach still has it, and that one was supposed to be on Saturday. And it will be rescheduled, so they're not going to. Athletic, who scored in Sunday's game and hit the post on another shot, has been red hot, and she slowed down to try to get some help from her teammates. Woodruff and the midfielders had to recollect, and now it's with Vigiano. She's a man behind and does a nice spin to get around that contested defense, but it's still taken away by Kaylee Ward. And now Ward puts it out in front of Vach. Vach one-on-one with Matthias. She takes angle and makes the save. She'll roll it down again to Matthias. Marietta has shown some life for sure here in the first few minutes. They might only have 1 point this season, but they played a very tough schedule. 2 of their losses to teams that have not lost yet this season, Ohio Northern and Otterbein. But Capital beat Heidelberg 3-0, whereas Marietta tied them 2-2. So you wonder if that was just a down game for them, or maybe Heidelberg had a great game. You don't know what happened. But Marietta has come out looking somewhat impressive in this game, and it's only been a few minutes, of course, but definitely look like they will be in this game. And Capital's got to be ready to respond to that. Crusaders are currently being outshot 2-1. Woodruff with the shot for Capital, and LaGreca and Vach each have a shot on the other side. Offside here against Capital. Capital gets it right back. Nice ball from Stanisovska to Woodruff, looking for space out in front of Shuttler. Wasn't really on target. Matthias there to help out. Played back to Bo, who's listed as a midfielder, played some attack last year, but now seemed to have cemented herself as a center back with Matthias. Freshman Haley Moore, as when she came out, very for. We'll see if we see more today. I'm trying to find her down there on the sideline, but we'll keep an eye out for that situation. 36-14 left to play first half. Marietta and Capital just getting underway here at Purmort Field at Bernlohr Stadium, and it is Vigiano playing it towards Snyder. It hits off the leg of a Marietta player, and then Delaney gets there with some help from Captain Embry Roberts. She's a senior midfielder out of Marietta, Ohio. So the hometown player for the Pios. Vigiano with some good contact, but it's cleared away. Maddie Wagner's playing it safe and blasting it downfield. That was Jasmine. Now throw it in for Capital, and she puts it towards men's and women's side. Vigiano. And again, just a little bit too much on the touch here. Too far out in front of Stanisovska. Marietta now has hit the ball and prevents even a shot in that situation. Great job. Are warming up. We haven't seen them yet this season. Avery Hart, a sophomore attacker who made decent attacking numbers for Capital over her time here. And then obviously Casey King, we have seen this season. And Leonetti, I believe, as well, also warming up for Cap. She has room to her left, goes that way. Berletic has it on the right foot. It got blocked right to Stanisovska, left-footed, and it's in. Right inside the near post, she tucks it in past Delaney. And Stanisovska in the right place at the right time. And she scores the first goal for Capital.
Number 13, Kaylee Stanisovska.
Berletic's shot got blocked, and it just bounced. And with the off, and just like that, out of nowhere, Capital picks up the lead 1-0. We'll get credit for that was blocked for John Carroll as Rotolo applying pressure. That is her parents on the fence line behind us because during the announcing of the starting, someone else did that, so I'm assuming that's her parents over there, but I could be wrong. Shuttler unable to clear, and Marietta will take over until Vigiano shuts that down. Bo showing off the footwork. Played it back to Matthias, who will go over to White now. And White swings it out wide to Bo. Bo through the middle to Vigiano. Capital very slow, methodical now in this approach. Out in front of Snyder, they found some space now. Stanisovska hits the gas on the right side. They go left, though. Berletic, a little bit behind Woodruff, and that'll end that run. Now Vach trying to get something going. She has looked impressive. A freshman who had that breakaway opportunity. No foul called there as Lauren Bowe wins that matchup. Now Woodruff rolls it in front of Barledge. Actually, that's Berletic, sorry, who is not able to get there first, but it's cleared by the Pioneers. Nice win by Shuttler to get it to Woodruff now. 4-on-4 the other way. Woodruff shuffling her feet, looking for help, and takes a shot, pitched it at the goal. Delaney knocks it down and then recovers it for the Pioneers. So we'll see what the Pioneers can do now. Looking for an equalizer, but Capital's kind of taking control of this game through the middle 10 minutes, the last 10 minutes of this first half. We still have 25 minutes to play here in the first half, so we're kind of in that middle portion of it. And Capital has seemed to have settled in. It's not to say the Pioneers haven't had their opportunities, though. Capital has yet to concede a goal this season, trying to keep that streak alive. Played back to the defense. You can hear the wind starting to pick up here at Bernlohr. Snyder comes from the bottom of your screen to try to help out in the middle of the field, and she did cause enough of a problem to at least clear it down to Matthias. On the foot of Vigiano, taken away from her by Ward. Ward to and it's just wide. Once that got past White, I lost my breath there, thought it went in. was an incredible shot, but I'm going to say this is a corner. No, there's going to be a sub, sorry. That is Chloe Williams. She's a senior, replacing Demi Mills. And there actually will be a corner, so that shot must have been either tipped by White or blocked on its way through there. So a corner for the Pioneers. This is our first corner of the game. It comes in the 21st minute. Who did that hit? I believe that hit a Pioneers head. We're about midway through the first half. Capital still leading 1-0 on the goal from Kaylee Stanisovska. And looking for more, but the Pioneers have actually recovered pretty nicely here. And are starting to mount an attack of their own, keeping pressure on Capital. I mentioned a bunch of subs for the Crusaders, and here they come. So Avery Hart will make her season debut. And she'll come in the attack. We also have Bridget Malin coming in, number 2. And a lot of realignment to pass along to you. The middle. Throw in from Ryan, who is on the other side of the defense, opposite of Malin at the top of your screen. Again for Capital. Here's Malin now with it. Malin still controlling. We'll have to in 2019, and Avery Hart played in 19 games and started 9 of them last season. She was Capital's leading goal scorer, tied with Jordan Fuss. She's in the box trying to be on the receiving end of this from Snyder, and would have been perfect timing there for Avery Hart. Good to see. Grace Tate checks in for the Pios. She replaces Kaylee. Capital trying to keep the pressure away from their net. Sid Dion battling with the defender there, Brooke Huffman, on the other side out of Worcester, and they're going to call Dion for the foul. Williams now gets shoved down, and oh my goodness, they don't make a call there. That was one of the bigger fouls I think we've seen today. Malin over to Avery Hart. Kicks it right, and it's cut down by Hauser. Too far out of bounds, so Cap will get a throw in at least. King gets a touch on it and commits the foul. Again, it's been a whistle-happy game this time around. They were leading in shots, but now they're trailing 7-4 in that department. It was 2-1 at about the 30-minute mark, and Capital's kind of taking control from there with, that'd be 6 of the last 8 shots, including a goal. And we're under 10 minutes now to play in the first half with that 1-0 lead. Custer. And we'll start the run the other way for Capital. Vaughn will be activated from net to play this one. Dion plays it over to Snyder. Capital is able to break through with the attacker in line, and they get past the midfield, actually. Played over to King, and King absorbs some contact there from Alberto. Sent in forward off of Snyder, headed by Hart. Ooh, shot by Dion gets blocked. It comes out to Snyder, who sends it on to Mount Street. And there is a car coming as it's out in front of Bernlohr. Capital make that. Marietta will make 2 changes. Taylor Carr and Emma Belazé, the sophomore out of Canton, Ohio.
Job, Tree. Job, Lydia.
Vok will come out for player we saw for Marietta in the first half. She's the one who had that breakaway, if you want to call it that, out in front of Capital's net, where White had to vacate the net and get it going. Marietta has a few minutes here to try to tie this game up. If not, they will trail heading into the line. It is 1-0, 6.5 minutes to play. Avery Hart has looked good in her first return to action, the 10-goal scorer from last season. Did so in 18 games. Dion. Ooh, that was good on its way to Snyder, but cleared away by Roberts. Malin gets a foot on it. Matthias finishes it. 6 minutes to play, first half. And it feels like we've kind of hit a lull here in the middle of this half, middle of the game. A swing inside is cleared away by Ryan, who came all the way from the top of the field down to the middle to clear that away. Hart has it now on a counter, looking for help, calling out some instructions to King. Fakes left, fakes right, stone. So here come the Pioneers with 4:15 to work with after withstanding that last rush from Cap. That one shot out like a missile. It hit both players on the bottom there, Tate and Malin, but it goes off Malin last. Thrown in and headed away by Malin. Obviously of some concern still is Woodruff in her situation. And a corner one for Marietta in the corner there. That's redundant, sorry, but in the bottom left of your screen. There will be a corner kick coming. So let's see what they got here. Sent in, and White catches it right out of the air off the leg of Chloe Williams. On a bounce, Hart, Dion trying to follow it. Pioneers control it. On the high end of the field is Ryan now with it. 2:25 to play. Capital trying to get one more to give themselves some cushion, which would be really deflating for a good half played by Marietta. And they clear it away. Capital's goal came off a blocked shot that bounced to an open shooter in Sinisovska. Really kind of a fortuitous bounce for Capital, and they took advantage of it. But other than that, Marietta has actually played a pretty good half, and like we said in the first few minutes, they looked like they came here to play today, and we'd have a game. Can Cap steal one before the end of the half? Another shot, and a save made by Delaney, her best one yet. Takes that away from Avery Hart, who was at the top of the box. Big time save made by Katie Delaney to keep her team down one. One more sub coming on for Marietta. That's Sworansky who checks in with 80 seconds left in the first half. Capital gets it right back. Yes, Matthias has Malin to her right. Goes farther upfield to Snyder. Poked away. And Marietta would be smart to just get this away, and they do. 1 minute remaining as Tate sends it upfield. Williams trying to take it from Matthias. And Bo and Matthias doing a nice job playing back and forth here. Matthias now looks upfield. Finds Huster's left foot, but unable to be controlled. And the Pios now. Bianetti now. Back across 10 seconds. It's going all the way back to the keeper, Delaney. And the final second, Delaney kicks it upfield. And that's how this half will come to an end. 1-0 on the goal from Kaylee Stanisovska. And it's held up for now, but this has been a pretty competitive game, and we'll see if Capital can get an insurance goal because the Pioneers seem ready to score one here. However, Capital hasn't allowed a goal still in 5 halves of play now this season. And we will be right back with second half action here at Bernlohr. And Ryan walks away okay, but Lydia Vach. Very slow to get up. Vach's okay. Brushing it off. And that's actually a capital throw-in as Ryan gets the hit on and then turns away to avoid any kind of extracurriculars there. 33 minutes left. Capital leads 2-0. As the sun's starting to set behind us here at Bernlohr. It's going to be a busy weekend here at Bernlohr Stadium. And this is kind of the start of it, even though it's Thursday. It is her first goal of the season. She has an assist earlier in the year. She becomes the 6th Crusader to find the goal column in just 3 games this season. We were just about to get into this weekend schedule. And we hope you stay with us for the weekend here. However, you're currently watching, just log on in pretty much all weekend. We have something going on. Tonight we have, obviously, women's soccer. Tomorrow, football is playing host to Ohio Northern at 7 p.m. Saturday, women's lacrosse is hosting Mount Union at 1 o'clock. I'll be here for that one on Saturday. And then Sunday's action, I believe we have men's soccer, against Mount Union at 2 o'clock. That one is still on for now. I'm sorry, the men's lacrosse game was the one that was canceled, not the soccer. So there shouldn't be any issues with the 2 o'clock Sunday game against Mount Union. My mistake there. So we've got soccer tonight, football tomorrow, women's lacrosse Saturday, men's soccer Sunday. I think that's everything. To close out a busy month of March. Nice throw in here from Ryan. Lots of leg on that one, or arm, I should say. And Rotolo now looks for some help. Missed the head of Avery Hart, and then Vigiano sends a shot on net that's saved easily. Now, that's not the only sports in action. Men's soccer's in action tonight against Marietta. Women's volleyball, kind of redundant there. There's no men's volleyball here at Cap. They're facing off with Mount Union on the road. Women's tennis at Mount Union. Women's golf is hosting the Capital event, as well as men's golf. Track and field is over at Otterbein this weekend on Saturday and Sunday for the golf tournament. Men's tennis is in action here against Mount Union on Sunday as White kicks this one away. Women's soccer will be in action at Mount Union on Sunday. Softball in action on Sunday, as well as baseball. Muskingum in town at 1 o'clock for softball, and the men travel to Muskingum for the baseball match, or baseball games, on Sunday. Those are 1 o'clock starts. Capital makes some changes to the lineup here. Bridget Malin checks back in, replacing Cassidy Ryan. She'll stay at the left side of the defense on the outside. Lexi Snyder is checked back in. And she's playing up on the attack, replacing Berletic on the left side. And I believe that's Stanisovska who came back in for Avery Hart as well. Rotolo stays out there in the middle of the attack. That is correct. That is Stanisovska out there who's playing that ball right there. Leonetti stays in with Vigiano and Shuttler in the midfield. And there's Vigiano with a nice header over to Snyder. Snyder cuts back inside. Good pass to Leonetti. Back outside to Malin. She's getting ready to swing it in. It gets through clean, but no one got a touch on it for Cap. And it comes all the way back out now to Matthias. Swinging it back out. Shuttler tries to follow up on it. Minutes left in the go with 10 goals now in their first unbeaten as well. 1-0-2 streak alive. And catch John Carroll in the standings. Good passing from Capital, but at least legs out there and not really miss a beat. Snyder, speaking of not missing a beat, she takes the shot. 4 games for them. 2 goals scored in their last game against Heidelberg, and that one went to double overtime as they went through 2 extra time periods without any goals either way. So that's just extra time on the field that they didn't score. And their offense definitely looking for some solutions. The 3 subs I mentioned make their way on. Leonetti gets her first break of the half finally, and Matthias gets her first break of the game. Snyder will come back to play defense now. Berletic goes back to the attack, and Huster will play in the midfield. And Alexa Chifo again will check in as the goalkeeper. 1 save in her career with 20 minutes under her belt. 2 saves made to placing their captain Embry Roberts. And moving to the attack now is number 19, Anna Bardwell. 8:18 to play. Can the Pioneers find one here and end Capital's streak of shutouts? Not looking likely as Hart plays it upfield away from the net, and at least this will kill some clock for the final 8 minutes here. Capital looks like they might have a scoring opportunity here as well as they have a throw-in down the field. Cassidy Ryan will throw it in. She does have a strong arm, and she can get it there in front of the net. Takes a running start. Finds Hart. Played it to Berletic. Berletic hits the deck. No foul. Cottrell slows it down enough. Snyder has it now. Snyder dribbles forward. Beats 2 defenders. Beats 3 defenders and hits the deck. Well, that's one way to stop her, I guess. Probably could be a card. They're not going to call one. Snyder was kind of just sifting her way through there and then got dumped. So Avery Hart takes the free kick, blasts it right into the wall. King follows up. Hart's there as well. Left-footed kick out in front of Staniskov's got too far, and that'll go through the end zone. So Cap won't come away with another one there, that sequence. But it is good vibes down there on the sideline as they're going to move to 3-0 with 3 dominant wins. The only question left is, will they all be shutouts? All these games are at halftime now across the state of Ohio. So Otterbein is up 1-0 on John Carroll. Heidelberg and Baldwin Wallace tied at 1 apiece. Mount Union up 1-0 now on Muskingum, and Ohio Northern and Wilmington both tied with a cross that's going to hit the side of the net. 6 minutes to play here. The Ohio Northern and Wilmington match is interesting. Both teams again unbeaten. Wilmington 1-0-2. Ohio Northern 3-0. Otterbein 3-0, potentially on their way to 4-0. And that's Capital's last 3 games, by the way. Only one of which will be here at Bernlohr. It is the Otterbein game to end the season on April 11th. On April 3rd, they traveled to Ada to play Ohio Northern. And the last 3 games of Capital's season are against teams that have not lost a game this season. So that's a little bit terrifying. Way to end your end the season. And we'll see if the Crusaders can hang in there and bring in unbeaten team into those last 3 weeks, or last 3 games, I should say, in the last week and a half of this season. And it's going to feel like playoff soccer from there on out in the hopes of chasing down an OAC title. And again, I mentioned this at the beginning of the broadcast, but without that first game this year, they are trailing in the points department, 3 points off of Ohio Northern and Otterbein. But of course, if Capital, they'll be the champs. So that's their focus, always has been the focus, but a little less margin for error now. But through 3 games, it's been mission accomplished so far. Capital with statement wins in their first 3 matches. Their next match will be against Mount Union on Sunday, as I mentioned. And then we're back here on April 1st. That is Thursday on the match here at Bernlohr against Muskingum. Four minutes left to play. Let's see if Marietta can mount an attack. They have not got a shot here in the second half. Capital has outshot Marietta 9-0 here in the second half. 7 of their 9 shots have been on goal. And they're going to get another shot here. Counts. This shot is blocked. Stanislavska collects, thrown it out of bounds. Capital possession still with 3:15 to play. Ryan will just elect to go for a shorter throw in here. Nice moves from Ryan. Crosses it through. Finds the foot of Counts. And a shot that is wide from Kaylee Stanislavska. And that was actually the foot of Avery Hart who touched that, not Counts in the box originally. And Stanislavska is able to win a corner for the Crusaders. Let's see if they can set a season high with a 5th goal in this one. Temperature dropping rapidly here in Bexley, Ohio. Here's the kick on the near post. It drops down, and King will watch it go out of. Ryan crosses, and not going to be able to find King. That's going to go out of bounds. King will try to give it a chase, and then she'll head back downfield. 1:34 and counting. Throw-in is stolen by Capital. Hart and Stanislavska combining to push it upfield here. King will throw it in. She'll stay at 1 save unless something happens here in the final minute. Another throw-in for Capital.
1 minute remaining in the game.
Again, a reminder, next game for Cap is going to be on Sunday at Mount Union, so we'll be on the road for that one, but we will be back here a week from today on the 1st when when Muskingum is in town for a 7 o'clock start, and then the last 3 for Cap, Ohio Northern, Wilmington, and Otterbein. That'll be the stretch where we see how good this team can be. And everybody starting to get back in the rotation of things and get healthy, and hopefully we can stay healthy for those games as well and get a little healthier with the players that have gone down recently. Maddie Woodruff, the latest. She has 2 goals for Capital this season. We'll see her status when we check back in on Thursday. 10 seconds left in this one, and we're not going to see any action here in the final seconds. A 4-0 win for your Crusaders tonight, and they remain unbeaten on the 2021 campaign with now 11 goals scored by 6 different players over the first 3 games. There's been a lot of positive things to report here at Bernlohr. So the Crusaders will move to 3-0. They have 9 points now in the standings, and we'll be back tomorrow for football action here as Ohio Northern's in town to face off with the Crusaders. Saturday we have women's lacrosse, and Sunday we have men's soccer. So stay with us and Crusader Athletics on athletics.capital.edu so you can follow along with all the action as we continue through a busy spring season here at Bernlohr and around campus. We thank you again for tuning in tonight. Again, a 4-0 win for the Crusaders. Sandra Swepsko with a brace to lead the way, and goals from Olivia Rotolo and Gabby Vigiano as well in this one give the Crusaders a 4-0 win. We'll see you later this weekend here from Bernlohr. Have a great night, everybody.